I can smell that Leroy is dying. It's in his breath, because that is what life is. It is living and loving and then death. This is Philosophical Life, Allison. I just wanted to share this with anybody who muses on the meaning of life and death and getting it right. This is something I wrote 2 years ago today. You're doing it wrong. Does anybody else have old trauma-based sensitivity to that phrase? I've been a puppet to these strings, and I'm certain I've expressed you're doing it wrong here and in person more than I wish. This is one of my great paradoxes, both losing who the world told me I should be, and still does, and discovering my own authentic way, uncentering from them to the center to me, and my centering is still wrong because it's not enough for yet another them. At the micro, I'm fucking it all up, to be sure. At the macro, it is today, this moment of now, and I speak of fleshly dust. I am a spark of fleshy dust on a rock, floating through infinite space. I'm a tiny 5'9" coagulation of matter with thumbs typing on a device with a screen that publishes to the inner and outer of webs. None of it is ever good enough in me or out of me. What you do or don't do and what I do or don't do. I'll never be a good enough white, cis, colonized, unracist, unindoctrinated, unchristianized, socialist, commie woman, and you'll never be a good enough whatever you failed at in the world's eyes. None of us are doing it right, and we're all doing it better than everyone around us in our eyes. It's exhausting. I see your mess, I see your perfection, I see you doing it wrong, and I see you doing it in the best you are capable of. I see me doing the same. I spent most of my 50 years trying to be better, do right and good and care in all the right ways, and it has never been enough. Not on one side of history or the aisle or the other. And at the end of the day, I am here with me, just me. My right is only ever good enough for me. It has never lived up to your, whoever you are, expectation. I'm working on letting your right be good enough for you. Do our rights, our correctness ever meet in the same place? Maybe for a moment, and then another moment happens and shows us all our separateness and wrongness. Only the shoulds rip us each in two, and we both lose and we both end up wrong. It's exhausting. If it isn't June 25th, if there was no Saturday, no horrible story, no dreaded future to worry about, then the only right now, then there is only right now and right now and right now. No matter what I preach, it is only right now, and it only has to be enough for me, because it will never be enough for whomever them is, and it won't ever be right for you. What a complicated world we live in, with always the threat of us unbelonging. That's the hook that freezes us or fights us or fawns us due to the threat of disconnection and belonging. And that is the one thing we all have in common, the innate need to belong. I'm tired of trying to belong in a way that makes you happy while I lose. I'm tired of trying to belong in a way that works for you, but not for me. I'm allowed to center me, you're allowed to center you. You are the center of your universe, and I am the center of mine. And the cycle goes in and on. We each try to rip another from their center for our own security. It's exhausting. And so for today, I will just be here with one dog and this phone and my words and expression and the air touching the bottom of my feet and my bra feeling too tight and my throat itchy, and it just is. And so today, here now, belonging to only my sweet soul and self of me has to be enough. I breathe and check in, and it is. P.S. I can smell that Leroy is dying. It's in his breath, because that is what life is. It is living and loving and then death.